Hello again, it's Matt for Sound on Sound magazine here. I'm in the old hall at the NAMM 2020 show. I've reached the Nektar booth and I'm here with Niels Larsen from Nektar. Hello Niels, good to see you again after all these years.
See you, Matt.
We've got a piece of hardware here that you're showing us to work with the Nektar system. It's a controller box called Aura. Looks like a very nicely built piece of kit. Stainless steel, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Looks really hard wearing. So obviously the Nektar system has been around for a while, and now we've got a lovely hardware controller for it. I seem to see something familiar in the grid arrangement of the pads, but it's got some nice bells and whistles. Tell us about them.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, obviously as you can see, it has 16 pads, velocity and pressure sensitive, RGB illuminated. We have 8 360 pots as well for parameter control, and a bunch of buttons that basically takes you around your plugin environment to set up plugins so that they are maximized for group creation.
Yeah, and that's an important point to mention, isn't it? This is controlling other plugins that are generating the sound. There's no actual sounds in this, it's purely a controller, right?
Correct. It's purely a controller, though it has a standalone step sequencer as well. So we got a built-in sequencer. Okay. We got a built-in repeat engine as well. So you can use that, with any MIDI device. There's a MIDI output on the back as well, so you can connect it to MIDI hardware. But we designed it, of course, primarily for software use initially. It was really conceived to be, hopefully just one of the best around for beat creation. So the Nectarine software is key to that. Nectarine is a plugin. Sure. It hosts VST, AU, and VST3 plugins, but can be hosted as VST, VST3, AU, and AAX plugins. So it runs in Pro Tools as well as pretty much any other DAW.
So a plugin host that can itself be hosted.
Exactly. Yep. Yes. And what we're showing here is we also got a standalone version. So we got that just hooked up for simplicity here. But so we have really 4 main areas. One is obviously pads, and then the integration with Nectarine. We have the repeat and the sequencer, and then there's the DAW integration as well. All very important points.
Sure.
Yeah. The price point, just to get that out of the way, is going to be, I think in the UK it's around £300. Right. And US dollars it's $350.
Yeah, very reasonable. Excellent.
So,
and highly portable as well.
Yeah. I mean, goes in a backpack.
Sure.
Once you set up, it's pretty easy to use. One of the nice things is that we store all settings with your song. So when you're saving, your DAW song, all the pads come up exactly programmed as you left them off. So maybe we should take a quick look.
Yeah, certainly.
And see how that works. So first, I'm selecting the pad setup. I've got a drum kit or a drum plugin mapped out here across the pads. Maybe I'd like to change the sound for this particular pad. I can just turn the encoder and change the note in real time until I found the sound that I wanted changed to.
Right.
So fairly easy to get to if you have big sound libraries or sample libraries that are mapped out across all 128 keys on the keyboard. You can basically just go through until you found the one you're looking for. Yeah, exactly. Another thing you can do is I can replace this particular sound with the sound of another plugin. So select the sound,
and you can call that up from the controller itself.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm just going to use the browser here. We're going to use select a tag to simplify patch browsing. So I'm just looking for snares now, and we'll load this one here. So what just happened was I'm now addressing this particular plugin from pad.
And no need to go back to the computer at all to do that. Yep.
And no need to go back to the computer. So
very good.
I still got all the other sounds right there. Let's say I want to add an effects plugin, so I can do that too. We have 4 insert effects per instrument.
Right.
So in terms of instrument plugins, you can actually have one instrument, a separate instrument on every single pad. So up to 16 at the same time. In this case, I have 2, and one of them I want to route to an insert effects. So I've selected slot 1, gonna go to the browser again, we're gonna select the tag, and I'm just gonna select reverb, and then back to patch, make my selection there and load. So Now I've got reverb, and I can, of course, control that as well. It's always the big thing for us.
Access all the parameters. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So that's right there straight away.
Adjusting the assignable knobs up the top there. Yeah, excellent.
And we have the same thing also for the instrument. So if I want to adjust the instrument parameters, I can do that.
Yep.
Too, right there.
Changing the harmonics there. Yep.
And of course also for the other parameters for the other plugin. So let's take a look at the repeat engine, because that's a lot of fun. So we have repeat engine built in, it repeats the note on the particular pad. So it's going to select the repeat parameters. I can change the repeat rate. Like that. We have swing parameters as well.
Yep.
And you can use accent offsets and stuff like that as well. So a lot of fun stuff. It of course.
So pretty quickly you could set up a rhythm and adjust it and give it, push it, pull it. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And then if you're using our DAW integration, all you need to do is press record, capture that
to actually write
in your DAW.
Looks very flexible, Niels.
Yeah. And then we have a sequencer as well. It's basically a step sequencer. Okay. So now we're selecting that menu. All I need to do is hit a pad.
Yeah, okay, so the pads are representing the steps. Yep.
That's right, yeah. Okay. So, well, actually the steps are represented up here.
Yeah. So
I've got 16 RGB buttons that show me the current...
You can see them stepping through there.
Yeah. And we have, for each pattern, we have 4 parts.
Yep.
So each part is 16 steps.
Yep.
So I can have up to 64 steps playing in a part.
Okay.
And I can just swap and change any of those parts at any one time. Just press a button, select a different part, let that play, and then go back to my original part. So I can basically manipulate that any way I want in real time.
Right.
So let's just add a few extra patterns.
There it goes.
There we go. So obviously programming's easy. Just remove steps, maybe select the last 2, change the repeat rate for those. We'll just add a little bit of a roll.
Yep.
And just keep building up your track, hit record, capture it in your DAW, and you have the ability to then arrange it in your DAW.
Now, of course, Nectarine is itself quite hands-on, and you can generate patterns pretty quickly in that. But obviously, this is giving you real-time access to it and an altogether more hands-on dimension to it. Isn't it? Excellent. Absolutely. When can we expect to see one?
This should be available early March.
Okay, terrific. Yeah. Okay, well that's great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Matt.
Have a good show.
Yeah, you too.
Cheers, Niels.
Good to see you.